need to know where it's not. But I honestly usually can't tell if I'm awake or asleep. I think the whole time I'm asleep. And in my dreams, I must have started raising 20 to 30 people a night from the dead, because I was just focused on raising people from the dead. I started conceiving it. I took this incorruptible seed and I started meditating on it, saying, Father, it's not just one time we do this. You told us to go heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead. And I started meditating on it until I dreamed about it. For 6 months or more, I just raised hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people from the dead in my dreams every night. And then on March the 4th, I think it was, 2001, we woke up at 4:15 in the morning, and my oldest son Joshua called and said, Dad, I'm sorry to tell you that Peter's dead. And I asked what happened, and he told me, and I said, don't let anybody touch him till we get there. And it took us an hour and 15 minutes to get up and get dressed. We lived out in Florida, and we had to drive into Colorado Springs. And anyway, it's a long story to it, because I had been meditating on this. I had conceived the miracle of raising someone from the dead on the inside of me. And it just came out. And right as we drove by this property, we didn't own this property at the time, but as we drove right by, just 100 yards or 200 yards that direction, right as we passed this property, all of a sudden the prophecies came back to me. I connected the dots. I realized that for those things to come to pass, he had to live, and I started laughing and praising God and telling Jamie, this is going to be the greatest miracle we've ever seen. And when we got into Colorado Springs, my oldest son met me at the door, and he said, I don't know what happened, but just a few minutes after I called you, he just sat up and started talking. He was in a morgue. He had been in a morgue for 4 hours, stripped naked, in a freezer with a toe tag on him, pronounced dead, and he sat up and started talking with no brain damage.
Amen.
He had the dubious honor of having a daughter born a year after he died. Not many people can say that. And you know how that people think, well, man, I want that. I'm not saying that I earned it. I'm not saying I deserved it. That's not what I'm saying. But I did conceive it. You have to conceive a miracle. And this is the incorruptible seed. This is the sperm. That whatever you need, if you need healing in your body, I prayed with this man over here about multiple sclerosis. This is the seed that heals that. Jeremiah Class right here was healed of multiple sclerosis, was just nearly dead. And now here you are, healed and ministering to people all over the world. And you take this seed and you sow it in your heart. You know, I've got a teaching entitled Effortless Change, and this is the foundation of that whole teaching. Is people think change is painful. Change is traumatic. It's because you're going about it the wrong way. Because you're fasting and praying and getting everybody to lay hands on you until they rub all the hair off the top of your head, and you're going from conference to conference and you're trying to get something to happen. That's because that's a hard way. But if you just take a seed, take an acorn and put it in the ground, and if you just give it time, it'll grow into an oak tree. If you take this seed for whatever it is that you need and plant it in your heart, it's an incorruptible seed. Incorruptible. That means, you know, physical seeds sometimes just don't work. They rot in the ground. We don't know exactly, but not every seed produces. But this never, ever, ever fails to produce. And all you got to do is take this incorruptible seed and plant it in your heart. And it will vary in time. It depends how much attention you give to it. It depends how long you've been doing this. It depends how much your thoughts are taken by something else. And just there's a lot of things involved, but the principle is that this word contains your seed for healing. And if you will plant it in your heart, and as it says in Isaiah 26:3, the Lord will keep you in perfect peace when your mind is stayed upon Him, when your imagination is stayed upon Him, and in your thoughts, you